Good morning. I'm Rebecca, and this is Yoga for Cancer. And we are starting in a supported fish pose. So I have my folded, this is actually a yoga rug, but it's like a blanket. I'm placing it across my mat, and I'm going to actually take my computer with me so that you can really see. So I'm going to lie over this piece of equipment, this blanket, and it's right underneath my shoulder blades so that I can lie all the way back. I'm going to try not to drop my computer and allow my arms to come out. My shoulders are coming down to the mat above the blanket. I think you can sort of see that. And this gives me a nice opening in the heart space, across the chest, in the rib cage even. And for some, this may be a lot of an opening. And so you want to modify it by changing the thickness of the roll underneath you. So take your time. Well, we're no rush. If it feels like too much back bend, then make a smaller roll. If you're working with a blanket that's thick, you can unroll it a little bit and then just put the rolled part underneath you. The other part will be underneath your lower back, and you'll have the edge right at the bottom of your shoulder blades. So take your time. If this does not feel comfortable to you at all, then please come out and just lie on your back. Your knees can be bent, or you can have your legs extended. And take several breaths in this position, allowing a real opening in the heart. This can have a big pull if you have scar tissue. So work gently, move your arms around to a place that feels comfortable. Maybe goddess arms is better than having them extended. You could even have your hands come in or even to your belly if that feels better. So take a few moments to set up and to relax into this pose. As you settle, release the weight of the body into the mat. Allow the upper shoulders, the arms, and the back of the head to be heavy. Feel the heart space opening with each inhale. With each exhale, settle and sink into the support of the earth. Allow hips and legs to be heavy, maybe feet are on the ground. And find your breath, allowing the breath to be smooth and even. So 13th century Sufi poet Rumi states, "You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop." We are all connected. We are all part of this universal energy. So let's use some wave energy as we breathe. Imagine as you inhale that the wave, the big surf is coming in. And as you exhale, the wave recedes and goes back out to the horizon. Each inhale is a drawing in of breath and a drawing in of the wave coming to shore. And each exhale, the wave recedes, the breath lengthens. So take several breaths in this ocean wave pattern. We'll finish with 3 more long, smooth ocean wave breaths at your own pace. Image of drawing in, the wave comes in, and long exhale as the wave recedes to the horizon. When you're ready, come back into your natural breath and slowly roll to one side so that you can remove whatever you're supported by, if it's a blanket or towel or blocks, and just scooch them out of the way. And roll onto your back, extending arms and legs. Legs can be out straight if that feels okay. You can have knees bent if that's better. And arms can be out or up, whatever feels good in your body. Let's reach the right arm and the right leg away from each other. If the legs are bent, straighten out the right leg and press out through your heel, reaching up or out through the right arm. Next, exhale, release the arm down and draw the leg back in. And we'll do the other side, extending out through the left, reaching left arm overhead, getting long on that side. Press out through your heel, reach through your fingertips. And on your next exhale, release arm back down and draw the leg back in. And now let's go to opposite arms and legs. So right arm, left leg reaches long. Really press out through your heel, reach through the fingertip, maybe off on a diagonal, feeling that diagonal stretch through the body. Big inhale and reach, and then exhale and draw the leg in as you release the arm down. And switch to the other side, left arm, right leg in opposition, reaching long, finding that diagonal stretch through the body. Big inhale to reach, and exhale, release arm and leg comes back in. And now if it would feel good, let's extend both arms and both legs, reaching out, pressing out through your heels, reaching through your fingertips. Big inhale here, and exhale, draw knees in, hug them in, and rock a little bit from side to side, knees coming in to your chest. Hug them in and roll from side to side. Massaging the back. Take a moment, and if it's comfortable, really draw your head up, curling into a little ball, as if your chin could come to your chest, your nose towards your knees, or maybe your forehead towards your knees. And if it's comfortable, rock a little bit here. Inhale here, exhale, squeeze in a little tighter, and then release and let everything go. Bringing feet to the floor, knees bent, knees and feet about hip distance apart. Just going to move into some pelvic tilts. Your arms can be down at your sides or out if that's comfortable. Inhale in place, and then exhale and press the small of your back into the mat. Press it down. Someone once said it, imagine there's a grape under your low back and you're squashing it. That image works for you, great. On your inhale, allow that space in the low back to come back in so that that gentle curve of the lumbar spine comes back. Exhale and press down again, tilting your pelvis. As you inhale, the pelvis tilts in the opposite direction, so sits bones come towards the ground. The top of the pelvis rises away from the ground. And let's just take several repetitions. Exhale, press the top of the pelvis. Inhale, and let that part come up. And just a few more in place. Yes, beautiful. And come to stillness and notice what you're feeling. Notice what's showing up today in your body, in your mind and thoughts. We are going to make our way on to our bellies. If it is uncomfortable for you to be flat, please take a folded blanket or a small pillow and place it underneath your abdomen. I'm going to come down on a little diagonal here so that you can see, I hope, what I'm doing. Go. So placing this underneath my abdomen for more support. I'm going to come all the way down. I think you can see me, yes. If it's comfortable, release your forehead, mouth, or chin to the mat and bring your arms down at your sides with palms down. My chair is in the way here. Reach through your toes, pressing the tops of the feet into the mat. Stay here, inhaling, and then exhale and press your hip points, the fronts of your hips, into the mat really strongly. Next inhale, reach through your right leg so strongly, as if you're trying to touch something across the way, that your leg floats up. Stay for a breath. Exhale and release that leg down. Shift your hips from side to side. Inhale in place. Exhale, press your hip points into the mat. This protects your low back. And then reach through the left toes as if you're trying to touch the wall at the other end of the room. Reach so strong that the leg floats up. Hold it for a breath, and then exhale, release down, and shake from side to side. You can continue doing one leg at a time, or if you'd like to try, press your hip points down on an exhale. Inhale and reach both of your feet away from you, and maybe they float up. Stay for a breath, and then exhale and release down. Shake from side to side. Bring your arms at your sides, hands up near your shoulders, kind of in push-up position, I suppose. From here, again, exhale and press your hip points down. This time we're going to inhale and reach through the crown of the head and just let the upper body lift. A little bit or a lot. Inhale here and then exhale and release down. Shake your hips. Inhale in place. Exhale, press the hip points down. Inhale and reach so long through the crown of the head that you start to rise up with the upper body. Your hands are just there for support. You're not pressing into your hands. Breath here and then exhale and release down. And we'll do one more like that. Shake the hips to let it go. Inhale in place, exhale, press down. Inhale, reach through the crown. Maybe the torso floats up. Breath here, and then exhale and release down. You can work with any part of what we've just done, or if you'd like to try locust pose, cobra locust, extend your arms down, again, palms down, arms are at your sides. Inhale in place and exhale, press the hips down. Inhale and reach through your toes. Reach through the crown of the head. And maybe reach through your fingertips. Rising up off of the mat. Big inhale here. And exhale, let it go. We'll do just one more like this, or whatever you're working with. Inhale in place. Exhale, press the hips down. Inhale, reach through the toes, the crown of the head, and the fingertips, rising up. Inhale in place. And exhale, come all the way down. Bring your hands stacked underneath your forehead. Maybe fists if you'd like to be a little higher. And just rest here, taking several breaths to release from the effort of the pose. And when you're ready, press into your hands and press all the way back into child's pose. Toes together, knees can be wide apart or closer together, sinking your hips to your heels and allowing the head to rest either on stacked hands or fists or on the edge of a block or cushion. Breathe in to the space of the low back. We've been working the back muscles strongly. So allow them to release and use the breath to stretch from the inside, creating that expansion like a balloon pressing against the edges. With each exhale, let go a little bit more. With each inhale, open. 2 more breaths here. And then slowly pressing back, begin to make your way up to standing. Take your time. It's a big transition from down to up. So move slowly, get the support that you need, and make your way up to standing. We'll find our Tadasana, our mountain pose here. Feet about hip distance apart. Bring hands to the tops of your hips and rock a little bit front and back. Come to stillness in the center. Maybe shift your weight from foot to foot. Come back to center. Let's inhale, reaching up. Exhale, close hands at heart center. Inhale up, open up, look up, see your hands come together. And exhale, close at heart center. Inhale all the way up. And exhale. And last time, inhale up. And exhale down. Shake out. And prepare for some, let's see, what are we preparing for? Oh yes, I have good things. We are going to work with, I wrote the Sanskrit today, Adho Mukha Svanasana, which is down dog. We're going to work with down dog either against a wall or with a chair. Now, if you're working with a chair, you have to make sure that it's not going to move when you come and lean on it. You have to make sure if you're coming to the edge that it's not going to tip. You have to make sure if you're coming to the seat that it's not going to slide. So if you have a yoga mat, place your chair on your yoga mat. If you don't, then put the chair against the wall. Maybe it's already there and you don't have to worry about this. But you can place the chair right against the wall so that when you press into it, it's not going to go anywhere. I'm going to move mine here so that you can see what we're going to do. So stand about, about 2 feet, maybe a little more than arm's length away from your chair. Inhale and raise arms up. Exhale, begin to come forward with a flat back. Let your knees bend as you go, bringing your hands to the seat of the chair. You can place your hands flat. You can hold on to the edges of your chair. If you're coming to the wall, you'll place your hands flat against the wall. Or you could even do forearms in either place. Your knees are bent. And I'd like you to press your hips back away from the chair and reach your arms a little further. Maybe I've walked mine towards the back of the seat of the chair. Your knees can stay bent, or you can press your legs more straight, hips coming up towards the ceiling. Let your head be between your arms. So it's not dropping down, but it's also not lifting up. So neutral in the cervical spine, reaching the crown of the head towards your thumbs, pressing hips behind you. And one more breath here. And on your next breath, walk your hands back towards the edge of your chair and begin to come up. Bend your knees. Walk hands to knees and come all the way up to standing. Okay, so that's version 1 with a chair. And if you're working with the wall, I'll do the next one to the wall. So again, standing about arm's length away from the wall, hands press. Begin to walk your feet back, bending your knees and reaching back through the tailbone. You have a great view of that behind me. I've walked my hands down. I'm reaching back through my tailbone. My legs are still bent or straightening. My head is between my arms. I'm reaching the crown of the head towards the wall or towards your thumbs. Long spine here, breathing in to the stretch. One more breath, and to come out, walk the hands back if you're on the chair, or begin to walk up the wall if you're at the wall, and walk your feet closer in. Okay, great stretch. We're going to work next with our Warrior 3, Virabhadrasana 3. And we'll do this in a dynamic way using the chair or the wall. So you can be standing with a hand at the wall for support, or if you have any other sturdy piece of furniture that's there, a counter or the back of a couch or arm of a couch, whatever's working, or if you have your yoga chair handy. Let me turn sideways. I think it'll be easier to show. So standing with your left side towards the piece of furniture or the wall, holding on tightly, we're going to inhale and raise the right leg, knee comes up, and then exhale, begin to press the leg behind you. Maybe you reach through your right arm. Inhale, come all the way up, draw the knee in, and exhale, reach behind you. Maybe you reach long. Inhale, come in, and exhale, maybe you're here with bent limbs. Inhale one more time, and exhale, reach. Now come on up back to center. Now your standing leg can be a little bit bent. It shouldn't be locked out at the knee. And your moving leg, your knee can be bent or you can straighten it if that feels good. Your arm can be bent or you can reach if that feels good. We're going to turn and go to the other side. So right hip is towards the wall or chair. Right hand is getting the support. Find your Tadasana. Find your strong mountain pose. Stand up tall. And then, with hand on your support, draw your left knee in, bending through the knee. Feel that weight on the right leg. Make sure the right leg, the standing leg, is not locked if you tend to lock your knee. Let it be a little bit bent. Inhale here, and then exhale, begin to reach behind you, maybe in front of you. Inhale, come back through center, the knee comes up and in. Exhale, reach behind. Now we're working here to keep our hips level, like we do sometimes when we're on hands and knees. So we don't want to be, coming out into a weird twisted shape. You want to be kind of right over your leg. And we'll do 2 more. And the last one, reach. Maybe you reach long. Inhale and come in. Whew, I feel that. I feel that a lot in the standing leg for me with my, you guys may not know, I have 2 hip replacements that I've had for many years now, seven or 6 or 7 years. And but it's really good to get strong, keep this area moving, yeah, for safety. Okay, let's take a sun breath. Inhale up and exhale, heart center. Inhale, reach up, look up, and exhale to heart center. We'll do one more. Inhale and exhale. Come to heart center. Maybe you close your eyes or take a soft gaze down at your fingertips. Feel your feet making contact to the ground. Feel the breath flowing through your body. Release arms down when you're ready. Take a slightly wider step on your mat. Make sure there's nothing in the way. In fact, I'm going to move my chair. And we'll go into a gentle Tai Chi twist. You can keep your head facing forward, or you can turn your head with your shoulders, whichever feels better to you. Allow your arms to come around and gently tap your back. This is supposed to stimulate the kidneys. Stay with it for another breath or two. Try shifting from one foot to the other, coming up on the ball of the foot. Maybe this feels good. And then come back to center. Allow the arms to softly come to stillness. Feel the echo of this movement in the body. Feel the echo of the practice so far in the body. Maybe walk your feet back in. Actually, I take that back. Walk them back out. Bringing hands to your hips, to the top of your hips. Inhale here. Exhale in place. And then take your left arm and reach it up and over, leaning in to the right arm on your hip. Find a long stretch from the outside of your left foot all the way to the top of the left fingertips. Inhale to come back through center and release arms down. Hands back to your hips. We'll do the right side now. Inhale up and exhale over. Feels good to open that side body after the vigorous practice. One more breath and exhale. Inhale to come back to center and walk feet back in. Shake it out. Our final standing sequence will be Utkatasana, or chair pose. If you have a block handy and you'd like to use it for this pose, I like to use it between my shins. So it's below my knee joint. For me, this medium width is the right width to keep my hips aligned. And I'm going to find my mountain pose. Maybe hands come to your hips and squeeze in, whether you have the block there or not. Notice where you feel engagement in the body. For me, this really helps me to tone my pelvic floor and to get the support of all the core muscles, including the inner legs moving towards each other, creating strength in the hip joints. Bring your hands to your thighs. Inhale to get long. Exhale, begin to reach your tailbone behind you, your knees bend. Hands can rest on your thighs or knees. Long spine. Keep squeezing the block if it's there. Reach through the crown of the head. Inhale and come all the way up, squeezing into center. Take a breath and we'll begin our second chair pose. Begin to reach tailbone behind you, long spine. Hands can be for support on your knees, or reach your arms back like you're in a sort of dynamic flying position. Inhale and draw the arms in front of you and reach. Maybe palms come together. Exhale, hands come back, reach, long reach between crown of the head and the fingertips. And last time, we'll inhale and reach, come all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Release the effort of that practice, shake out. And we'll slowly make our way back down to the mat. Take your time. And come to sit in your easy pose, Sukhasana. Sitting cross-legged if that's comfortable. We haven't talked about this in a while, but when you sit cross-legged, if you notice that you're sinking and you're rolling back towards your tailbone, that's the clue, the hint that you need something underneath your sits bone. So I'm going to grab my folded yoga rug, which is here, and just tuck it underneath my sits bones, just to give me a little bit more support so that I can sit up nice and tall and feel the weight of my sits bones making contact with the mat. Let's inhale and reach up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Inhale up and exhale to heart center. Pause here. We're going to do the reverse. Inhale, arms come up, look up. Exhale and release arms down. Bring them back to heart center. Inhale, reach up, look up, and exhale, soften and release the arms. We'll do one more like that. Hands come to heart center. Inhale and reach up, look up, and exhale, release arms down. Plant your right hand and come up and over with the left. Inhale, lower the left, and exhale, come back over. Inhale, lower, and exhale. So we're coming to the same side using kind of a wave-like movement. And this or the next time that you come through center, pause, plant the left hand, right arm comes up and over, back to center, waving over and back. Yes, beautiful. Two more on this side. And this time or the next, come through center. I'm going to bring my hands behind me and walk my feet out in front. Actually, I'm going to move my yoga rug for this and I'll scooch back a little. So I have my heels on the mat. Hands are behind me for support. My knees are bent and my feet are pretty far wide apart. I'm going to come into crow crawl. Exhale, drop knees to the left. Inhale through center and exhale, knees to the right. Take your time moving side to side, noticing your restrictions and also what feels really open. If it would feel good, you can release the arm to come around into a twist. Inhale through center, plant the hand and then reach around. And inhale through center, reach and press. And one more time, if you'd like, reach and press. Coming back through center, keep your hands behind you. You can have your fingertips pointing away or pointing towards you, whichever feels more natural for you. Walk your feet out in front of you, hip distance apart, feet on the mat. Inhale here and exhale. Think of drawing your lower abdominal muscles in. Imagine you could bring your hip points, those fronts of the hip bones, towards each other. Can you feel that? Hold that position even as you inhale and lift the right leg. Exhale and place it down. Inhale and place, exhale, and draw the low belly in. Draw the hip points towards each other. Inhale here, and exhale, lift the left leg. And release down. Inhale in place, exhale, low abdominals, drawing hip points towards each other to engage the transversus abdominis, and bring one or both legs up. You can lean back into your hands or bring your hands in front to hold on to your thighs. Keep reaching. My knees are still bent. I'm reaching through my feet, but I have a long spine and I'm reaching back through the crown of the head. One more breath here, and then lower your feet, hands behind you, and cross your legs and come back up to easy pose. Let's try bringing soles of feet together, knees apart, and rock from side to side. Yeah, beautiful. Releasing the effort there. Coming back through center, let's bring the right foot in towards your inner thigh, and the left foot is going to extend out. Now we're going to work with a forward fold and then a couple of side stretches. So from this position, bring your fingertips in front of you. Inhale and get really long. Feel your sits bones on the ground behind you and reach through the crown of your head. Maybe this is your pose. If you feel a stretch, there's a truck outside. If you feel a stretch here, stay here. Otherwise, see if you can tip forward, coming from the hip hinge, right? So we're not rounding. Long spine, keep reaching. Maybe you bring your palms of your hands to your mat and use the sticky mat to help you get longer as you come a little further forward. Make sure breath is flowing, holding in this stretch for one more breath. And then walk fingertips back up. Plant your right hand, inhale the left up and over, reaching away from the extended leg. Inhale through center, plant the left arm and right comes up and over, reaching towards your toes. Imagine that you could grasp your toes and open. Really think about opening the heart so you're not collapsing down. I'd rather you be up here and reaching, you could reach here or here, than collapsing and going like this, okay? So side bend. Inhale through center, exhale away. Inhale through center and exhale towards. One more time each way. Beautiful. And exhale towards. Inhale up, hands behind you to facilitate switching out the legs. And again, sitting up nice and tall on your sits bones, reaching out. Fingertips in front of you, find your long spine. Maybe this is your pose right here. This is beautiful. Maybe you'd like to walk a little further forward using the sticky mat to help you lead with the heart, right? So we're not collapsing. We're getting long. Heart center, heart forward, crown reaches. Tipping from the hip hinge. Each inhale, get a little longer. Each exhale, soften just a little bit. One more breath. And walk fingertips back, coming up. Plant the left hand, inhale right up and over, reaching away from the extended leg. Inhale up, plant the hand and come up and over towards your toes. Maybe you flex your foot. Stay for a breath, reach. Think of opening the heart, right? So we're not collapsing, we're staying up. Inhale through center, plant the left hand, Exhale away. Inhale up and exhale towards. Inhale through center, exhale away. And inhale and exhale. Inhale through center, exhale, hands behind you. Bring your legs out in front and very gentle windshield wiper, letting the legs drop open and close, maybe teeny tiny bounces. This always feels good in my hips. Helps to let go. Windshield wiper again. I can see outside a big cloud, so I don't know, is it supposed to rain today? I can't remember. So we're going to come in to a restorative pose for a few minutes before we move to our Shavasana. And so I would encourage you, if you have your chair, to bring it, or bring yourself, in front of the chair. Now you can't see me, can you? I'll turn sideways. So I am effectively straddling the legs of the chair. If you do not have a chair, but you have your couch in front of you, see if you can bring your legs wide enough to your couch or your stool or counter or whatever you have in front of you for support. If you don't have anything, you'll sit up nice and tall. Bring your hands to your support. Press down to grow tall, reaching up through the crown of your head. Maybe you stay here, or maybe you can bring your forearms, holding opposite elbows, to the chair or other support. It would be good if the support is too low, if you had your block handy or even a folded blanket, because where we're heading with this is to rest our heads. Now, I don't want us to be in this tight, scrunched up position, right? I want this to be a long stretch. So I'd rather you be sitting upright and just relaxing than curling to get your head down. But if you have the range of motion, maybe you can reach your forehead to a block, or maybe to stacked forearms, or even stacked fists. If you have a cushion handy, got my bolster here, you could bring that in place. And again, reach out and rest your head. Try not to round, long spine, gentle, gentle release of the head forward. Take a moment to find comfort in this position so that we can hold it for a few breaths. Get what you need. Grab your props and get yourself comfortably set up in a restorative wide-legged forward fold. What do you need to be comfortable? And once you get into place, allow the attention to come to your breath. Now, the point of restorative poses is that they're not painful, they're not wildly difficult. The idea is that you are well supported. So if you don't feel well supported, then change your position, move around, add an extra cushion or blanket, sit up on something, or sit back against a wall and just come into a comfortable seat where you can sit quietly. Take your time to set up your pose, and we'll stay here for about 10 breaths. And as you come towards your 10th breath, gently press into your hands and slowly rise back up. Take a moment to come back into your natural breath, noticing if you feel lightheaded and if there's anything that you need before making your way into your Shavasana. You can lie on your back with a bolster under your knees. If you have your chair handy, you can lie on your back with your legs up on your chair. What would feel good right now to take rest? Take your time. And once you find your position of rest, allow the body to be heavy. Feel the cradle of the earth beneath you, the blanket of the sky above you. Feeling held and safe and warm. At the end of class, we say the Sanskrit word namaste, uttered with hands in Anjali Mudra, a hand gesture that means offering. Literally, namaste means I bow to the divine in you. Ram Dass, who left us at the end of last year, defines namaste as I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you which is of love, light, peace, and joy. When you are in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, we are one. Namaste. Begin to deepen your breath, bringing small movements into fingers and toes. Take your time, especially if your legs are up, and slowly and carefully roll to one side, bringing your legs down. Pause on your side until you feel ready to press into your hands and make your way back up to sitting, allowing your attention to stay deeply inward for another moment or two. We'll seal our practice with 3 chants of Om, 1 for the light in me and 1 for the light in you, and 1 for the community we create when we practice together. If you'd like to join, bringing hands to heart center, we'll inhale. Om Shanti, peace, peace, peace. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me and with each other.